Hello everybody, welcome to my first Jam Live. I'm super excited and I believe I'm a minute early, which is good. I'll just give it a few minutes to for someone to join on. I have my laptop set over here so I'll be able to see any questions that you have coming in. Yes, that's set up here. Technically, all of this is working a-okay. Hello everybody. I'd love a little thumbs up if you can hear me, if the audio is working okay. We have a few people joining in, which is amazing. Hello everybody. Yeah, a little thumbs up or something would be amazing if you could, just to let me know that I'm not talking to myself. Amazing, there's a little thumbs up there. Thank you so much. Sinead Jordan, that's amazing. Hello everybody and welcome to this little live cook along. I am making the most delicious teriyaki salmon with couscous and chickpea salad today. And again, it's super easy and super fast, which I think is the most important because we're all busy and we all get home from work. We just want to make something that's super tasty and super quick. Hello everybody, Eleanor, thank you so much. Little hearts coming in there, Bernie and 5. Yes, amazing. Welcome everybody. So my name is Shane Smith and I am delighted to be the Gem Pack Food brand ambassador. I have been working with the team over the last year or so and to be their brand ambassador is amazing. They're such a recognised national brand and yeah, I'm just really chuffed to be working with them and creating some hopefully gorgeous tasty recipes for you. This is one of the first recipes that I've created and we have so much more in the pipeline as well, so there's lots of tasty treats coming in. Loads of people joining, which is great. Let me know where you're all watching from. That's something that I love to know actually, where you're from around the country or if you're in Ireland or abroad. It's lovely to see where everyone's watching in from. And again, if you have any questions whatsoever, please fire them into the little question box below. As I said, I have my laptop set up over here, so I'm able to keep an eye on any questions coming in and hopefully I'll be able to answer them all for you. Welcome everybody. So that's a good few people in joining, which is great. What I'm going to do now is probably get started. Again, what I just want to show you about this recipe here today is how simple it is. Now, if you are cooking at home with me, fair play. What I would say is get your oven turned on nice and hot as well. Chris is in Coventry in the UK. Welcome Chris. Thank you so much for joining. The UK is representing. Anyone else? There are a few more messages coming in. So yeah, if you are cooking at home, get your oven turned on. All of these recipes and tons more is on the Gem Pack Food website. So you can go over there for lots of inspiration. This recipe is over there as well. So if you're watching this back, you can follow along here or you can jump straight on to the website and have a little check there yourself. So if you are cooking at home, as I said, get your oven turned on, get it nice and hot, about 200, 180 fan. The salmon that we're going to be cooking today will only take in around 12 minutes or so, depending on how big obviously the salmon is as well. Perfect. I'm just checking here. We've got loads of people watching, which is great. So what we're going to start with first is our marinade. And to make the marinade, again, I have all my ingredients here. The longest part about this recipe is actually weighing up the ingredients. Making it and all of that is actually the simple part as well. So to begin with, I have my little bowl here. And again, guys, as I said, any questions, fire them into the question box below here and I'll be able to hopefully answer them for you here. We're going to be creating this marinade. This marinade is absolutely delicious with salmon, with any kind of white fish as well, but it works equally as well with chicken or pork. It's a really nice kind of a round recipe that works with lots of different meats and stuff as well, and even for vegetarians as well. This works really nice in stir fries, and then you kind of mix this marinade and you can keep it in the fridge, and if you're having a stir fry or whatever, you can just kind of chuck this in with a little bit of vegetable stew. It's absolutely delicious. So to get started, I am going to begin with the sweet chili jam. That is just going into our bowl here. On top of that, I have some lovely Irish honey. Again, this will add a beautiful sweetness to the salmon that we're using today. In here I have some soy sauce. You can use the light soy sauce or the dark. Again, adds a nice little hit of flavour, and what I absolutely love, sesame seed oil. Just that beautiful, gorgeous flavour that it'll have all your guests or family trying to guess what exactly it is. That goes in here. And then I'm going to be adding in some fresh ginger, okay? Just going to grate some of that in. I would say if you can use fresh, because I find if you use the dried or the ground ginger, it's kind of powdery and it's just not so nice in the marinade. So if you can, a little tip when using ginger as well, sometimes you can buy it and you're not going to use a whole lot of it. So you can actually freeze the ginger down and then take it out as you need it. So if you buy a few pieces of it, you're just going to use one, freeze the rest, and then pull the rest out as you need it. But again, I would recommend, highly recommend, that you use fresh ginger in this here as well. Hello everybody, lots of people joining in there. Natasha, Trisha, Jen, Connor. Any questions, guys? Again, don't be afraid to fire them my way, and I'll hopefully be able to answer them for you. So once we get our fresh ginger in there, that's going to add an absolutely beautiful flavour to our marinade. This marinade, again, what I want to get, I suppose, the point to get across with this recipe here is this can all be done in steps. So you can actually make this marinade the day before, you can leave it in the fridge, and yeah, you can just have it ready to go basically. So it'll hold fine in the fridge for a few days once it's nice and cold. So again, lovely marinade here. That's ready to go. I'm just going to be getting, do we have a question in there? Are we all good? No, we're good for the moment. A few people are requesting to join me. Next time we'll do a little cook along. I will, yeah, that could be fun actually. I have my salmon here. So what I actually have is a lovely piece of salmon, and I'm going to just trim that, and I'm going to cut that in half. So we have two really good sized portions. If you buy the pre-sliced or the pre-portioned salmon, sometimes they can be a little bit thinner. Where I like this one here, as you can see, it's got a lovely size to it as well. So when we cut that down the middle, we're going to get a nice chunky piece of meat. The recipe on the website is for 4 portions. Today I'm going to be making 2 portions because I have to eat it all. So 2 portions, I'm going to be obviously cutting the recipe in half. But if you are following along whenever the recipe is online, that is for 4 portions as well. So just going to trim off that little bit here at the end, like so. And we're just going to be cutting this in half. Like I said, 2 really nice sized portions of the salmon. Now this has the skin on, and you can leave the skin off, you can take it off. What I find when you cook this, it flakes away from the skin very, very easily as well. I have my tray over here. I'm just going to pop my salmon on the tray. If you are using like sea trout or a kind of a flatter fish, just keep in mind that it will cook a little bit faster in the oven. This is actually quite chunky, the salmon, so it'll obviously take a little bit less or more time to cook in the oven. A thinner fish will take a little bit less, so just keep that in mind. So I'm just going to wash my hands here really quickly. And I'm just going to spoon this over. Now, because we are obviously cooking live here, what I would say to you is try and leave the marinade on the salmon for as long as possible. So again, if you can put it on it and leave it for 15-20 minutes, the longer you leave it, obviously the nicer and more flavour that you're going to get out of that marinade as well. So just going to spoon this over like so. The smell of this as well. I think the hero ingredient I'm getting out of this marinade is that sesame oil. Again, very, I suppose, handy to pick up in the ethnic section of most supermarkets as well. Really, really nice. Again, it's just beautiful in these marinades or salads. So again, just spooning that over like so. And as I said, this can be done ahead of time and then left in the fridge. Any questions, guys? Are we all doing okay? We have Chris from the UK. That's all I know so far. Where is everyone else watching from? I'd love to know where you're tuned in from. And if you've made this or if you're going to make it, or what's your favourite dish as well, I'd like to know. So I'm going to pop these in now to the oven. So my oven is preset at 200, that's 180 fan. And these will take in around 12 minutes. Again, this will all depending on how large your salmon fillets are. Some people like their fish, especially salmon, just a slightly bit under, so then that will take 10 minutes. So again, if you like your salmon that little bit crispier, a little bit more, then just cook it a little bit more then as well. Eleanor is from Wexford. Yes, we are representing. So that's Wexford now and the UK watching, which is brilliant. I'm just going to pop these into the oven. My oven, as I said, is preheating. It's set and that's ready to rock and roll then as well. So next what we're going to move on to is our gem couscous. Couscous is one of those, who are looking here as well. We got County Cavan, and then we've got Meath. That's more like it. We've got plenty of people now telling me where they're watching from. The coconut and jam cake you made was amazing. Oh, Connie, thank you so much. Yes, actually I would say that if anyone's looking for any of my recipes along with this one and more over on my own page, that is Chef Shane Smith. Tons of recipes there, as I said, including this beautiful recipe and loads more recipes coming from Jem as well. So you can find me there and obviously Jem here. Yes, Mayo, Meath, Cavan, I think now the Irish contingency is winning. Just what I was saying here in regards to the couscous. Absolutely love. Brona's from Dublin. Would you do a school visit, Stacey Lou? We'll chat about that later on, no problem. Couscous is one of those amazing, I suppose, ingredients where it's ready in minutes. Literally 4 to 5 minutes. And it's a great vessel for carrying flavour. So this gem couscous here, it's always great just to have a bag of it. Where are we? I've got the couscous here. This is the gem couscous. And as I said, just pure handy. It's obviously faster than cooking your potatoes, your rice. You just add in lovely stock to this, cover it and let it sit. So I have my stock here. So I've literally just added in a vegetable bouillon, it's a cube and some boiling water. And I'm just going to pour that. I had that just gently heating up behind me. I'm just going to stir that, make sure that the stock is well mixed through your couscous and just cover that up. So I have a plate here, I'm going to cover that. I'm just going to put that to one side and let it do its thing. As I said, 4 to 5 minutes and your couscous is ready. And it's really is a good vessel for carrying flavour. So you can get all your vegetables in there, all of different salads like tomatoes and onions and whatever. It's just really, really nice. And it's one that's great for school lunches as well. So you can actually make it the night before, put it in the fridge, and it's just a really nice one as well for lunchbox treats and stuff like that. It's a nice healthy one as well. So as I said, that's my couscous now and my vegetable stock just soaking there, and obviously that will fluff up. It will take, as I said, maybe 4 to 5 minutes. So next up we will talk about the marinade. Actually, we can get the marinade started. This is what we're going to be dressing our lovely couscous and chickpea salad with. This is like a lemon Dijon mustard, very, very handy. And just like the salmon marinade, it is one that you can actually have pre-made in the fridge, in a jar, take it out as you need it, and then just stir that through the couscous as well. So again, as I said, very, very simple, very easy to kind of have organised as well. Loads more people joining. Hello, everybody. Where are we all watching from? I've got plenty in from Wexford, Dublin, the UK, Mayo. Yeah, let me know where you're from. So next up here, I'm just going to be getting my dressing organised. So into that, I just have some rapeseed oil. You can use any vegetable oil or even olive oil if you want at this stage here. Next up to that, I'm going to be adding in my Dijon mustard. Now the Dijon of all the mustards I find, if you're going to be using whole grain, obviously that's lovely and it's got a nice texture for a French mustard. English mustard I do find a little bit strong, especially for this recipe here as well. Oh, we have Sligo and Cork in the house. We've got a real mixed bag in tonight, that's amazing. Thank you so much guys for letting me know where you're watching from. And then the Dijon is a little bit milder than the English mustard, and it just works really well because the last thing you want to do is be putting an English mustard into this and it kind of overpowers the salad somewhat. It just becomes a little bit too strong. So next I'm going to be adding in my lemon juice. So again, this is half the recipe. So I'm just going to be adding in half the amount of lemon juice. And again, this is a beautiful dish any time of the year, but it definitely has a bang of summer off it. It's a really light, zesty salad and beautiful all year round. So that is my lemon juice. add it in. And then I have some spices here as well. So what I have in here then is some cumin. I have a pinch of chili flakes, and I have some paprika. Again, if you're not into really spicy food, you can leave that out. You don't have to be putting in the chili flakes. You can just put in the cumin and a bit of paprika. They all go in. And I'm just going to give those a stir around. Really nice. That is our dressing. So again, important always to give a little taste. I'm going to take that one out. Mustard is absolutely beautiful in that. I think we have a small little hit of salt. And that is our dressing done. Not only for this couscous salad, but this is absolutely lovely for any salad dressing. Really fast, really easy. That little bit of cumin, paprika in there as well. Absolutely gorgeous. So that's our salad done. So as soon as we have our couscous ready, we're just going to drizzle this over and just mix it through. And it just gives it a beautiful little lemon and mustard undertone for that as well. Now, Stacey, Shane, can I just drink the marinade on its own? Absolutely. You can do, yeah, that's not a problem. If that's your thing, go for it. I'm all about it. The marinade is, trust me, it's gorgeous. You can drink it, yeah, in moderation, like everything else. So next up, I'm going to be adding some. That's going to be the comment of the evening, I think. Next up, I'm going to be making the obviously the rest of the ingredients for the salad. So I'm going to be packing that with like gorgeous almonds and raisins and just mixing up those flavors. We're going to go through that. I have this beautiful plate of goodies here. And again, this is where you get creative. This is where you add what you want to add to your couscous. Again, this is just like a base recipe, and you can take out and add things in. Next up is our chickpeas, okay? So these are the gem chickpeas. They're dried, so I think a lot of people would associate chickpeas as the one in the tins. What I would say with the dried chickpeas, definitely try them out, okay? They involve a little bit more work in regards to soaking them and then cooking them, but the texture is night and day. They're amazing for nutrients in there, high in protein, but what I would say is when you have the time, soak them overnight, or you can actually just soak them for an hour. So I've got some soaking here already. So they're just in a little bit of water. You can leave them for about an hour and a half, strain it, and then you boil them for, again, depending on what kind of texture you're looking for anything from an hour and a half to a little bit more. You bring them to a boil, turn it down and just let them simmer. But the texture is completely different. Beautiful in soups and stews. And again, not to be, I suppose, compared to the tinned chickpeas. As fine as they are, they're just quite soft, and they're a little bit mushy at times, where I would recommend if you can pick up a bag of the dried chickpeas, and again, soak them, full instructions, everything is on the back of the gem packets. And again, you just get that beautiful texture and flavour as well. You get a lovely nutty flavour off them as well, I think, when you cook your own. But again, I have already done that because obviously we were doing this live. Sorry, Annie coming in here. Elizabeth, marinade looks fab. The marinade is so good. So good. But again, all of these paired together work so well. So next up I have my chickpeas. So again, these are the ones, when you soak them, you will see that they will get larger in size. And then obviously when you're boiling them, again, turn it down, and then you're going to get lovely textured chickpeas. These ones here I had cooked this afternoon, so they're ready to go. And next up then is my ingredients for my salad. So I'm just going to grab another knife here. I'm just going to give this a quick clean, and I'm going to start just preparing, I suppose, the vegetables and stuff that's going to be going into my couscous, because the flavours of that alone are just lovely. What I have here is some of the gem, the light's a bit bright there, the flaked almonds. If you want an extra little bit of flavour, you can pop them into the oven for 4 or 5 minutes maximum, depending on how hot, 170 or so, and you just toast them slightly. Or you can do that on the pan as well, and it just really heightens the flavour of the flaked almonds. You get that beautiful almond flavour off these as well. So you can roast them 100%. Any other questions coming in? Everyone seems to be getting on okay. Next, I am a sucker for raisins. I adore raisins, currants, sultanas. When I'm trying to be healthy, I have them as my little kind of sweet treat snack as well, just to kind of get the sugar cravings. So I always have raisins everywhere around the house. But this adds a beautiful sweetness. Now I know some people may not be a fan of the sweetness in salads, but trust me, this works really well with all of the other ingredients that's going in there. So I have my gem raisins in there. As I said, the sultanas will work really well too. Currants, they're a little bit smaller, so these are a little bit more plump, so I kind of enjoy those personally a little bit more. Next, I have some tomatoes. So I'm literally just going to be quartering my tomatoes here. I'm just going to pop these into this bowl because I'm going to be adding my couscous in here as well. So next up, I'm just going to quarter. You probably can't. Oh, you can see what I'm doing. Yeah, it's perfect. Tomatoes goes in here. What I don't have here, but what you can add in, red onion is beautiful. Cucumbers is really nice. Depending on the time of year and what kind of vegetables you can get, change it and adapt it, and you can add this in as well. Loads and loads of fresh herbs. You can never really go too wrong with that as well. So that's in on top of my dressing. I have just a clove of garlic. Absolutely adore garlic. Would have it for breakfast if I could get away with it. I'm just going to chop a little bit of this, and again, very finely, I'm just going to mash that with the back of my knife. So you're kind of getting a nice puree. So you're not just going to get a big chunk of garlic in your salad. So I'm just going to scrape that now into my bowl, like so. That's all my beautiful garlic in there. I have some spring onions, obviously a little bit milder than your regular white onions or Spanish onions or even your shallots. The spring onions are just a little bit milder, and I just really, really enjoy them. Any questions coming in? Shane, not sure about flaked almonds as they're very bold. Flaked almonds are delicious, trust me in this. If you're going to even the gem nibbed almonds, that's a different conversation. So good in baking. We have, as I said, plenty of recipes coming up to highlight all of these lovely ingredients. Nibbed almonds are really, really nice as well. Or even if you want, you can go with the whole almonds, and they add such a beautiful texture. Again, just roughly chop them. The gem whole almonds are so good in salads like this as well. So now, that is my spring onion, roughly chopped. Now, if you're really tight for time, you can have your vegetables and all that prepared the evening before. Your marinade's ready, so it's literally a matter of coming in, pouring your stock over your couscous here, getting your salmon in the oven, and you literally have dinner ready in under 30 minutes, which is amazing. Next up, I'm just going to be adding in my flaked almonds and my raisins there. Any other questions coming in? Danny, Declan's in. Hello everybody. Jordan the cook. Joanne Gray, loads of people watching, that's amazing. Now, a little bit of heat. There's nothing wrong with a little bit of heat. I'm going to be adding in just probably, I would say, quarter of a red chilli here. This is completely up to your own taste. So you don't have to add the chili in if you're not a mad fan of heat. But this does add a little bit of an extra kick. You're talking about the flaked almonds being boiled. This is definitely the hot bit in here. So that obviously is our chili. I'm going to make sure I'm just going to wash my hands before I touch anything else. So that's chilies going in like so. I'm just going to set this to one side and wash my hands really quickly. And that's it. Next up, I have my beautiful chickpeas, as I said, that I have cooked. I'm just going to mix all of this together. Now, I don't know about you, but I feel healthy already even looking at that. Just really, really nice. Just like so. I'm going to set that to one side. And next, I'm going to be adding in my couscous that I have been soaking in that vegetable stock cube as well. So again, that's just fluffed up nicely, and what I like to do with the couscous is just break that up with the back of a fork, and you get those beautiful grains. And again, depending on what you're using, if you're using a homemade stock or if you're just using a little stock cube, just taste it. Sometimes they can be a little bit salty, so you might need to adjust the seasoning as well. You may not need to add as much salt or pepper to this part because this could be quite salty. So again, just to taste it. So that literally is my couscous all fluffed up like so, and I'm just going to be adding that to my bowl here. And again, remember that has the lovely lemon, Dijon, marinade in there as well. So I'm just going to move some of these bits over because my salmon should almost be ready. I once chopped a chili. Yeah, chilies. Yeah, you need to be careful when you're just when you're cooking with chilies as well. Just always give your hands a good wash afterwards as well, because if you touch your face, your eye, it's a whole different ball game. So this is my couscous salad, as you can see there. Really, really colourful. Again, give it a little taste. Tiny little pinch of salt. That's more than enough. What I'm getting from that straight away is the lemon and that little note of mustard. A tiny bit of chilli in there as well. Beautiful, beautiful salad. As I said, one that you can have made in the fridge and it's ready to go the next day. And what I love about couscous is beautiful, warm, but even nicer, cool as well. I'm going to check my salmon really quickly. I would say that it should be ready to go. Yep, I would say another minute on that, and that is perfect. Any questions coming in? We have Aoife, Lily, loads of people joining in. That's amazing. Okay, just to finish off my couscous salad, as I said, whenever I can add fresh herbs into anything, it's absolutely beautiful. So I have some lovely fresh parsley here, so I'm just going to grab that. I'm going to chop some fresh parsley. I'm going to be just mixing that through my salad. And that is it. Good to go. I don't know about you, but I'm absolutely dreaming of picnics and summertime, and this is exactly what this reminds me of here. So again, we have that delicious couscous. So I'm just going to plate up now into my bowl. Just going to give my tabletop a quick clean. Just get any little rogue bits out of the way. So now I'm just going to spoon on my beautiful couscous, and my salmon will be ready. And what I meant to say to you as well, actually, just like the couscous, this salmon is amazing, out of the oven, charred, delicious, but it's also equally as nice cold. This is a beautiful one that you can even bake this evening and put it into the fridge, and then you can have it for lunch the next day, like a cold salmon salad. The marinade on this as well, it's just as nice cold as it is hot. So again, depending on what kind of your time frame is like, you can absolutely have this cold as well. So that's my delicious couscous salad. As I said, this is 2 portions instead of 4. The recipe that you'll see on the Gem Pack Food website is for 4. This is 2 because if I made 4, I would eat 4, and I'm trying to cut down a little bit. A rainbow of colour. Do you know what, Brona? I couldn't agree more. That's exactly. It's just super, super. It just feels healthy even looking at it. Okay, salmon's ready, so I'm just going to grab it now. Now, how amazing does that look? Beautiful caramelization on top there. Where's my board? Yes, caramelization on top of the salmon. And I'm just going to grab my fish palette knife. Do I have one here? I'll use this one here. And this is just going to sit directly on top of my couscous, like so. Beautiful. Smell of this. Again, what I'm getting is that beautiful that sesame in there as well. It's just really, really coming through. I'm just going to move that to one side. And I'm just going to finish this off here. Picnics, I'm telling you, that's what it's all about. And then I'm just going to finish that off now with a little bit of parsley. And that's it. That is our gorgeous gem-inspired couscous and chickpea salad with a beautiful lemon and mustard dressing with our teriyaki salmon. I'm just going to come around, perhaps you'll see it a little bit better that side. That gorgeous marinade. Now I know I was talking quite a lot, but you really you could have that ready in under 30 minutes, no problem whatsoever. As I said, for those who have not used the dried chickpeas before, I would highly recommend using them. Again, just a little bit more work. Looks amazing, I must say. Thank you. Am I recording this? I will save this down on the Gem Foods Instagram page, so it should be on the main feed there as well. Looks fabulous, looks lush, looks delicious. Beautiful, Shane. Thank you guys so much love coming in. Yeah, so as I said, this dish here really can be prepared in under 30 minutes. And again, if you are going to try the chickpeas, what I would say to you is involves a tiny bit more work. Soaking them overnight and then cooking them the next day, but trust me when I say the texture is just night and day and so worth it. And again, the good old couscous, you really cannot beat it. It's dinner ready in less than 5 minutes, so you're basically waiting on the chicken or the vegetables or whatever it is you're cooking. The couscous is just, again, load that with all of your delicious vegetables. As I said, the gem raisins, the almonds, the scallions, and then that beautiful lemon mustard dressing is just sensational. Guys, send me your address. Yes, I'll need to start posting out some of this as well. So yes, guys, thank you so much for everyone that's tuned in this evening. I hope that gave you a little bit of inspiration. Hopefully that you'll try this dish out yourselves at home. If you do try this dish out, make sure and tag Gem Packed Foods and myself. We would absolutely love to see your recreations. As I said, we have a beautiful sweet potato, red lentil soup, butter bean soup, that went up Wednesday, I believe it was. So that recipe is on the page along with this recipe and tons more on the website as well. Who else is there? Thank you, watching from Donegal, looking forward to making it. Noreen, that's amazing, thank you so much. Love Donegal. I need to go on a trip very soon. So yeah, Noreen, if you are making this, or anyone who's watching this, if you do make this at home, make sure and tag Gem Packed Foods and myself, and we would absolutely love to see your recreations. So enjoy the rest of your evening. As I said, will save all of this down on the Gem page, but again, full recipe is on the website. And thank you for taking the time out of your evening. Delighted to be Gem's new brand ambassador, and as I said, we have so many exciting and tasty recipes on the way. So there'll be plenty of baking during the summer. So yeah, that's all. Thank you so much again, guys. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and I shall talk to you soon.